Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. You know, I don't normally eat fast food as much as I used to these days. I kind of just don't think that it's, number one, good for me. When I say good for me, like, I feel like it doesn't give me any energy, any edge, any fillingness or flavor pleasure that it used to back then. It doesn't have the appeal that it used to now that I'm an old man. It doesn't really have the appeal as it once did. Back then, I could crush a lot of fast food and it was appealing to me. It was marketed to me. There would be so many promotions for different things back then that were made for me to, buy and consume. It's like they knew who their audience was. Fatsos. Fat men in particular. I think that more men buy fast food than women, honestly. I really do. I think that you could probably look up that statistic and see which gender buys more fast food, men or women. You know what? That's actually a good question to ask artificial intelligence, the beings that run the world. And I'm going to do this by via voice command. Let me see. Allow microphone. Allow speech recognition. Allow. Who buys more fast food, men or women? All right, that didn't work. Let me try it again. Not off to a good start with this voice thing. Who buys more fast food, men or women? Okay, search. Let's see. So the first time wasn't very good. Second time, let's see what this is. And this is not Google Gemini. This is not Microsoft Copilot. This is not ChatGPT. I'm using Grok, Elon Musk's artificial intelligence, and this is what it says to me. And I asked the question, and it actually picked it up the right way as I said it. Who buys more fast food, men or women? Recent studies consistently show that men tend to buy and consume fast food more frequently than women. For example, a 2018 CDC report found that 37.9% of men compared to 35.4% of women in the U.S. ate fast food on any given day between 2013 and 2016. Another study from 2023 by Drive Research noted that men are nearly 3 times more likely to eat fast food daily and almost twice as likely to prefer delivery. A 2014 study in Kuwait also reported significantly higher weekly fast food consumption among men, with men more likely to choose larger portions like double burgers, while some regional variations exist. Example, in Qatar and Mauritania, I guess that's a country, women may consume more. Okay, so in those countries, women might actually consume more fast food. Let's see. The border trend across most studies, especially in Western and Middle Eastern contexts, point to men as the more frequent fast food consumers. Okay, so there you have it. Elon Musk, thank you. We have confirmation by Grok artificial intelligence that men buy more fast food than women. Why is that? I have no idea. Is it because most fast food is burgers and men like to grill burgers? And it's like, oh, I could go for a burger. Is a burger a more masculine food, masculine appealing food, than I don't know, a piece of fish? Is that more appealing to a woman or a man? seems like burgers kind of are more, men are buying more burgers than than women are. So that's an entire different study that could that could be looked into. But I don't really buy fast food as much, but now when I did, I know why, because we just bought it more than women. And I could actually point to a lot of different examples of when I would want fast food and a woman I knew would not want fast food. Kind of weird, right? What is it that just entices men? The flavor, the portions, the grease, the how quick we could get it. I think that might be it, actually. How quick that we could obtain the bag of fast food. It's pretty quick. It used to be quicker back in the day. It's kind of slow now, but honestly, it's been quicker back then. I think it's also the convenience of it. Just like going up to you can stay in your car, you go up to a menu in a drive-through, you talk to a box that has a speaker and a microphone, you say what you want, you drive a couple 20 feet down, and then you pick up your food and then you go. Maybe it's that. It's like a combination of like the innovation of how quick I could get something that tastes pretty good that could be my meal for the night. And then all I gotta do is get it in my car and then drive away. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the fact that we don't need to cook it. It's just there, and it tastes pretty good, and it's usually not super expensive. Well, if you're talking now prices, it's pretty expensive than what it used to be. You could order so much back then, it would be like nothing. Now, if you want to order the same amount, it'd be like quadruple the price of what it was back then. I'm talking like back in like 2010, 2011. Those prices were, probably what made us so fat in the beginning is just how much they cost back then. But I hadn't gotten fast food in a long time. Maybe here and there, but I could pinpoint the time before the most recent time was maybe about 6 months that I got fast food. So I decided, you know what? I don't want to make anything. I got nothing prepared. I have no leftovers in the fridge. I'm starving. What the hell am I going to do? I saw a commercial on TV. I was watching the NBA playoffs, and it was a commercial from Taco Bell. Not about a taco, not about a burrito, not about any Mexican food or Tex-Mex food or whatever you want to call Taco Bell's food, but for chicken nuggets. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember Taco Bell had chicken nuggets for like a week, and I never got to try them. They come at me with this commercial, advertising the 5-piece nuggets, the 10-piece nuggets, and it's Taco Bell, so they always say zesty flavor with some zesty sauces. And I was like, you know what? I think it's a Taco Bell kind of night. Why not? And I'm not gonna just get the nuggets. What if they ain't that good, right? What if they're just not that great? So I decide, you know what? I'm gonna turn back the clock and get Taco Bell, and I'm gonna look and see what they got on the menu. If anything else pops out at me, I'm gonna get the nuggets for sure. But what else am I gonna get? Take a trip down memory lane. So what did I end up getting? I got 2 crunchy tacos, and I had ordered a 10-piece chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. And I use the app because it's 2025, and I'm not living in the past here. So I fire up the app, I get it going, I order that shit ASAP. I ain't waiting. I'm not putting in a scheduled Taco Bell pickup. All right, I want it now. All right, that's the beauty of fast food. I want it now. The audacity to get a scheduled Taco Bell order prepared and pick up is probably one of the funnier things that we have invented in human existence. Scheduled fast food pickups. Cry me a river. What is happening? You could be at work. It could be like 2 o'clock. You don't get off until 5 o'clock, and you're on your phone on a break. Be like, what's for dinner? What am I going to get? And you're looking at what you got. You got a Taco Bell app right there, all purple and nice. And you're like, Taco Bell sounds good. And then you start to fantasize of what you want. And you look at the menu, you look at the deals, and you're like, oh, I can make this and that. They got in-app exclusives. Oh, I'm going to order this, and I'm going to schedule it for 5:30. That way, when I'm on my way back, I can pick up dinner. That is exactly what they were thinking, and that's what they created. Congratulations, Taco Bell. You saw a goal, you saw an opportunity, and you took it. And now people order fast food scheduledly. Sometimes they can maybe do it daily, however they want, and just schedule Taco Bell or fast food, whatever they want, and pick it up on their way to from work. And it gives you an option too. You can pick it up in the restaurant, or you can pick it up in the drive-thru, whatever you like, whichever makes you feel more comfortable. If you want to be someone who doesn't want to see people, maybe you're embarrassed to go in and get your Taco Bell order. You just want to go through the drive-thru and say, hey, I got Taco Bell order, give me my shit. You can go in the quick way in the drive-thru and get your Taco Bell just like that. Now you don't have to have any public shame walking into a Taco Bell, getting Taco Bell. But also, you probably shouldn't have any shame, because that is a safe space for people who want to eat Taco Bell. Now, walking back to your car, maybe you might get shamed by somebody. Maybe someone might see you driving by. But like, bitch, you eat Taco Bell? How old are you? Now, I mean, obviously, that's probably never going to happen to you. But it's always it's a rational fear to have, right? Someone you might know who is like of an advanced age, maybe the same age as you. I'm using me as an example, a 31-year-old man. I should not be consuming Taco Bell on the regular, daily, weekly. Shouldn't be consuming it whatsoever. There's far better foods out there, better than Taco Bell, that taste better, that are priced better, and better for you, right? So I understand if you want to take the easy way out and just order it on your app and then drive in on through and then get your bag and then go. I mean, I see the appeal. It's like you're on a secret mission. You don't want to be seen. It's great. It's thrilling. It makes your life a little bit more exciting. You ever have that when you're trying to go somewhere, do an errand, run a few errands or so? You don't want to be seen by nobody, like absolutely nobody, and you succeed at it? It's thrilling. It's a rush. There's sometimes when you try to do the same thing, but you get seen by somebody you know, or someone you know who knows them, and they recognize you, and they want to chit-chat, and you have nothing else to do but converse into that chit-chat. It's a crushing defeat when you think about it. It's like, no, I was so close. Then I got spotted. And now I have to engage with this person that I barely know anything about, and he's going to ask me questions about something I don't want to talk about for too long. My day is ruined. We've all been there. We've all experienced that. But the rush is there. Nonetheless, it's a rush, right? So I decide. I saw the commercial. I'm going to order Taco Bell. And I'm going to get 2 crunchy tacos and a 10-piece nuggets. I'm feeling good. I use the app quite a bit whenever I do get Taco Bell. And I don't cower away. I say ASAP, and I will pick it up in the store itself, in the location. I will walk in there, say hello to my fellow employed Taco Bell employee, and get my bag and then leave. And that's what I did. I ordered it ASAP, got it, put in my car, and I left. That was my mistake. I should have checked the bag. But I would think because these people are making $20 an hour and it was presented so nicely, neatly, ever since they started this mobile thing of ordering food on the app and going to pick it up and having little to no human contact, thanks COVID, I would assume that this is a perfect perfect a perfect assembly of my order, right? I ordered the 2 tacos, the 10-piece nuggets. I ordered 1 bell sauce and 1 spicy ranch and 5 hot sauces for my tacos. I was confident. I saw the bag neatly tight with the sticker on it, for cleanliness, for to make sure your food is not contaminated. The sticker, come again, with the receipt printed out on the bag with everything that you ordered right there with my name on it. I was the only bag there. I walked in, grabbed it, walked right out, went home. I opened it up. The containments were sort of there. The tacos were there. The container containing my 10 nuggets, or so I thought, was there. The sauce was not. The taco sauce was not there. Already a fail. I believed way too much in that establishment. I believed in them way too much to get that much of a betrayal. I said, fine, whatever. I'm not driving back. I will get over it. Moving on. I consumed the tacos without any sauce. Not bad. Not terrible. I mean, Taco Bell on its own, flavor-wise, is all right. At least the crunchy tacos are fine. Now, it didn't have much meat in it, but it had a lot of lettuce and cheese, which, I mean, I guess you could say is, at least they didn't totally skimp out on me, so they kind of made it so, like, it passed the weight test. They should really have a weight test on these Taco Bell tacos of what is of the containments in the taco shell. It should have to pass a weight for them to give it, for it to be worth that much money that it costs. I mean, sometimes I'm getting tacos with like half a scoop of meat and then an entire garden of lettuce and a little bit of cheese. Sometimes I've gotten more meat and then a lot of lettuce and then like no cheese. It's a hit or miss. I think that they should have a weight limit on what is a passable taco containment weight that is within the shell for it to be that price. I think that that's fair, honestly, because sometimes it's hit or miss. And you're like, I spent $2 for one of these and this is all I get? Taco Bell, you're not in the business of making my day a bad day. You're supposed to make me say, live más, not live less. I want to live más, not less. Maybe, you should kind of change that to, live happy or so. I don't know. Make my day, Taco Bell. I order you because I usually don't have a good day. You need to make my day better. That is your job. You are a fast food establishment. You're supposed to make me forget about my sorrows from your food. Your incredibly tasting, incredibly bad for me food. Do your job, please. Anyway, so I kill the tacos pretty quickly. I would say like maybe 3.5 bites each taco. I don't mess around when I eat at all. I don't nibble. I don't take baby bites. I mean, I take bites like a dinosaur, right? Like a T-Rex could eat like a human in one bite. Think of me as like an equivalent of a T-Rex. Like, I ain't going to mess around with biting. I'm going to bite. I'm going to bite a lot. I'm going to chew a lot. No, I chew a little too little, actually, I think. But I take bites. 3.5 bites for a taco. One crunchy taco. That might be a personal best, actually, I should say. I think I've done 3 before, but 3.5 ain't bad. Well, it's kind of hard because the shell arcs, right? It gets, bigger at the top, so it's kind of hard for me to clear the taco in 3 bites. So 3.5 is usually where I stand when I eat Taco Bell tacos, even though I don't eat them that much. And by the way, they had no sauce, by the way, which actually wasn't too bad. I thought it would be much worse than it was. I've always had to have the sauce with the tacos just because that's how I was raised. Ever since I had Taco Bell, I always had sauce every single time. Mild, hot, fire, I've always had at least a sauce. Now, I think that the hot sauce that they have is like maybe a top 5 hot sauce in the world. The mild might be a top 10. I used to be a mild guy back then, but then I became a hot guy. In my recent years, maybe in the past like 10 years, I decided to put a little more zing in my order, and I was like, you know what? I need to be a man and get the hot sauce. And it was like one of the best decisions of my life. Fire is all right, but I think it tries a little too hard to be hot. Like the unnecessary hot. Like burning my mouth hot. Like I don't fuck with that too much, I'll be honest. I go for the hot sauce for the flavor. The spice is, it's a nice little addition. Like, ooh, that one kind of hurt. But, I'm not trying to eat for pain. I'm trying to eat for pleasure. Let me eat. That's what it's all about. I don't fuck around with these super hot food challenges either. One time I had a blazing wing from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was in pain for like 10 minutes. I think I had one full wing. As I had consumed it, my mouth felt like it was molten lava. Nothing quenched it. It hurt. I was sweating. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't see how people can do that and be like, no, it's fine. I don't feel anything. Like, you're lying. There's no way. Do you just have less pain receptors in your mouth than I do? Were you just gifted with, the ability to not feel spicy pain? That's kind of weird. But also, like, why would I get, a normal-ass mouth and a normal-ass tongue where I feel all that, but this guy apparently feels nothing? He could be lying, but, I don't know. But anyways, I finished the tacos without the sauce, and I'm feeling a little, like, let down. Not a little, but kind of a lot. Like I said, it was good without the sauce, but man, I love their sauce. It's one of the better things that you can add to the taco. It's like the cherry on top, the icing on the cake, It just makes it better. I'm sorry, but it does. And then I get to the nugget container. It's purple. It's got, the Taco Bell logo. It's something I never thought Taco Bell would do, ever, have chicken nuggets. The fries was a big step. And I was like, wait a minute. Y'all already had nachos. The chips and the cheese. You didn't need the fries, but, whatever. You guys can do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to stop you, right? And then I noticed that the container of my chicken nuggets is a little on the lighter side. And I'm thinking to myself, like, well, I hope I don't get disappointed yet again in the same night from the same place on the same order. That would be quite... That would be... This entire experience would just be considered a fail. Or as the kids like to call, an L. That's loss, if you didn't know. But I was hoping and praying. Like, I didn't open the box yet, but I looked up into the sky and I was like, oh, for Christ, please tell me that they could count. They make 20 an hour. Could they count to 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's halfway. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is the finish line. Could they count to 10? I looked at my bag. I looked at the receipt. It said 10-piece chicken nuggets. 1, 0, 10. I saw it. They had to have seen it too. That's their job. I open the box and I count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that was it. Only 5 nuggets when the receipt had said 10. Now, I am okay with getting not so good tasting food, newer item, right? Maybe it's just not good. You want to try it out out of curiosity. It's something that you don't normally get there, but you're taking a chance. That's what it is. That's what it was. I'm taking a chance on you, Taco Bell, to fulfill my hunger. Not just in the things that I know are good, like the crunchy tacos, but in your new product. I'm trusting you to deliver me an apex experience of your chicken nuggets. And I get 5 out of 10. I could not believe it. 5 out of 10. They couldn't count to 10. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not okay. If you can't count to 10, you shouldn't be paid $20 an hour. I don't care. Don't care. That was actually embarrassing. I didn't know what to do. Do I drive back? Do I waste gas and drive back? I've already been scammed so much, and I got scammed out of a quarter of my order, right? 2 tacos, half my order. The other 10 nuggets was another half. I only got 5. I got a quarter of my order not even there. But I didn't go back. I was too mad to go back. I didn't want to be that type of person to walk into Taco Bell to get their food, to the person to go back to Taco Bell because they didn't get all their food, in anger and enraged. I didn't want to do that. I didn't like the image. I saw it. I saw what I looked like. I saw what other people would look at me, what they would think of me, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to suffer. This is what I deserve. Because I decided to get Taco Bell, I got scammed, and I'm just going to take it. I'm a grown man. I'm going to take it. Maybe this was a sign I don't get Taco Bell, or a sign that I don't try their new things. I just get what I would get. That way I never get disappointed. So in my disappointment, in my rage at the dinner table, right, I'm flaming. I don't know what to do. I'm speechless. This is only 5. Only 5. It said 10. So they're like just not even doing their job over there? Is that it? Is that what it was? I could have went back and said all this. I should have. But maybe a Taco Bell employee will hear this and be like, damn, I never want to not count to 10 ever again. I want to make sure I'm able to count to 10 for sure. I'm going to do my counting tables tonight just to be sure that my counting skills are sharp as a tack. If you're listening to this and you are a Taco Bell employee, 10 is the maximum amount that you can get in an order of chicken nuggets. It's 5, and then it's 10. Please count to 10. Learn how to count. That's half your salary, right? Half your hourly pay. 10. You get paid 20. You should be able to count to at least 10, guys. So what do? I eat them. I say, fuck it. I'm going to eat these. I didn't want to anymore. I was so enraged. Could barely eat. Couldn't open my mouth because I was just grinding my teeth. So I look at the box. It's a pathetic sight. The box is just like half full. The sauces, I just put it there. I open up the sauces. I got the Bell sauce, which is like their, it's like their Chick-fil-A sauce. Like it's their sauce. It's their special sauce, right? The other one was a spicy ranch. It was a historic collab between Taco Bell and Hidden Valley. They made like a spicy ranch sauce, and it was actually kind of fire, I'll be honest. So I try it, the nugget bare naked by itself, and I eat it, and I'm like, this is kind of nice. The flavor's there. The chicken is a little on the mushier side, not like a chicken tender where it's like kind of like you can tell like it's a nice chicken tender, right? So I'm eating it, and I'm like, I actually would have like eaten the nuggets in much less bites, but because I was scammed so hard and I had less food, I decided to milk it and just take little nibbles to try to satisfy my broken heart of less food than what I had paid for. So I'm trying the sauces, each sauce with each nugget, and I'm like, you know what? These are actually kind of good. Can't lie. The chicken texture is a little, not as, firm as I would like it to be, but it was pretty good. The breading was nice, seasoned well. The sauce is pretty good. The Bell sauce was good. The spicy ranch for me was my favorite sauce. With the nuggets, all in all, it was good. The nuggets were good. It's just I was robbed of 5 other nuggets. And listen, I know that this is not a very uncommon thing to happen to people who order fast food items for them to mess up your order that hard. But when you present it in a way where it's nice and tight on the pickup zone, right? The zone where they have the orders to be picked up, when the bag is neatly, folded over with a sticker to ensure that it's been safely delivered into the bag with napkins in there, and the receipt is taped on there with all you got, I expect it to be perfect. I expect perfection. I expect everything there. This isn't like a drive-through where, they're transporting it from the back of the kitchen all the way up to the window. Something could have fallen out, yada, yada, yada. No, this was presented neatly as it was, as it appeared like it landed in the zone of completed orders. It should have been completed. It was not. I don't know what to tell you. Disappointed. Terrible experience. Terrible. Ruined my entire day. If I'm being honest, it just ruined the entire thing. They could have been not good chicken nuggets, and I would have had a much better experience than not getting my entire order. I think that's just sad. Very, very, very sad. I haven't been able to really get over it either. But, what would I rate the chicken nuggets? Like a solid 7. There's nothing really too special about them. The sauces are probably the best thing about it because they actually added more zing and more flavor. Even though the nuggets alone had a decent flavor, there's nothing really special about them. They're just chicken nuggets. But my advice to Taco Bell is maybe if you're going to add items to your menu that require someone to count how much that way they get the order correct. The person who's doing it should know how to count. I know that people are brain dead now. People are on TikTok and they just know how to swipe up, but you gotta know how to count if you're gonna be serving up nuggets, and especially if you're gonna have more than 5 nuggets. If your max order can be 10, you better make sure that all your employees can count to 10, because if you get paid $20 an hour and you can't count to 10, then we got a big problem here. All right, so I'm done ranting. I just needed to get that off my chest because that actually kind of ruined my entire week. I'm not gonna lie. However, something else happened this week that truly almost kind of rivals this this horrific experience, but I guess I'll just start talking about it. I'll just tell you what it is straight up. Xbox has already begun in saying fuck you to their customers and has risen the prices on every single thing that they manufacture. I'm talking Xbox consoles, the Series S, the Series X, controllers, headsets, cords, accessories, yada, yada, yada. You name it. If Xbox manufactures it, then they have already raised the price on it. It's not good. It truly is not good, and it's already happened, and it's one of the worst things I've ever experienced in my entire life. So, just looking in comparison to what's happened, their new Xbox Series X, a 2 terabyte hard drive, Galaxy Special Edition, used to cost $599.99. It now costs a whopping $729.99. That's $130 more than what it used to be. This isn't a new console. This isn't new hardware. It is just a newer hard drive, but it was already $600 before, and now it's well over $700 now. And this is old hardware that we're talking about. The Xbox controller, the basic black Xbox controller went from $79.99 to $89.99, an entire $10 increase in old hardware. And that's not it. The Series S, the 1 terabyte, the one that came out with the Xbox Series X back in, 2020, 2019, went from $349.99 to $429.99. A headset, if you wanted an Xbox branded headset from Microsoft themselves, $109.99 to $119.99. This is old hardware that barely anybody bought anyways, right? The Xbox is not a top selling console, not a top selling anything. Controllers, headsets, consoles, accessories, they don't sell a lot of anything, actually. So for them to do this is just absolutely criminal. They don't care. Why should we? Why should I care so much about Xbox, raising their prices? Well, for one, I was a loyal Xbox customer for a long time. Since the Xbox first came out and went to this 360, the One X, Series X, right? I've been a loyal customer for Xbox. I've been loyal and I've been a fan. These past 2 years, and now this might be the nail in the coffin here, but the past 2 years of Xboxes and their decisions on their games and their exclusives that became overnight non-exclusive. I mean, the desire for anyone to buy an Xbox is pretty much at an all-time low. No one cares about Xbox. No one wants to buy an Xbox. And now they pretty much have just said, we don't care if you want to buy an Xbox. There's the price. Somebody might buy it. Cool. We'll cash in. But we don't want people to buy our console. So we'll hike up the price. I mean, this is just an absolute quit. Flat out quit. Like, we don't care. Whatever. It's over. We lost. I mean, there could be the tariffs. It could be this. It could be that. I don't really know. I'm not an economist. But it's just so silly how this is just being implemented so quickly. And it's like there's no like real it just doesn't seem justifiable. Like, even the regular Xbox Series X, the 1 terabyte, it went from $499 to $599. I mean, it really is a shame. It's tragic. So far, PlayStation hasn't done anything like that. We all know the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 at the moment is pretty high, but this is just a sad sight to see. I mean, I'm looking at this price right now, and I'm saying, like, to myself, like, dude, how the mighty have fallen so hard. Like, it's not even worth, like, buying an Xbox anymore. And I was talking to my friends, like, dude, guys, like, we are in some shit right now. Like, this is not good. Like, this is, we used to be Xbox guys day ones. Like, we would try to get the new Xbox console the day one it came out, and we were just like, yeah, Xbox or die, PlayStation sucks. I mean, I've talked to you guys about this, about console wars, and how I would love a console war again. I want that competition, to ignite in both, all three companies to, push each other to make the best console, make the best games, and perform, right? That will never happen again. It's just not going to happen. And especially with these prices, like, I mean, I'm looking on Amazon right now, and an Xbox Series X, a brand new one, $598.93. I mean, I from when it came out to being $499, I mean, that it's just like it's a shock. I'm in shock of what this company has decided to do. Microsoft. You almost cannot believe it. You don't want to believe it, and it's just not a good sign. Not a good sign. Games have also went up from $70 to $80 on Xbox, and it just, you think about the future. The games that are going to be coming out. What is coming out? Is there going to be any game that's going to maybe go over that price? Well, couple of days ago, Rockstar released Grand Theft Auto 6 second trailer. And while the game looks good, it does look good. It looks really good. It looks like your typical Grand Theft Auto game, right? I mean, I'm not the biggest Grand Theft Auto fan. I enjoy the multiplayer aspect of it when, you can just do random shit, heist, race, have fun, fuck around with your friends online. That's always fun. But I've never really been a Grand Theft Auto story guy. I'm more of a Red Dead Redemption guy. But hey, maybe this one would be good. I'll give it a shot for sure. See if it's any good. But the trailer came out, and I can only just picture and imagine and just pray to God that, it doesn't, go crazy with the price of that game, right? Xbox just made their games $80, right? The last thing that I want to see is Rockstar kind of pony up on that and be like, well, we're actually going to raise our price of our game to $100. I would actually cry. Not because I'm the biggest Grand Theft Auto fan and I want that game for $70, even though I would love that. I mean, hell, I'm still in the fan, in the party of bring it back to 50 back in the day when it was on, Xbox, the first Xbox, PS2, GameCube. Those were the days, bro. And even back then, you could argue that even might have been a little too expensive for some of these games. But the big jump to $80, I mean, every other console's going to do that now. Every other game that's going to come out is going to go up to $80. That's going to be the standard. But now Grand Theft Auto hasn't released a price yet, so they could flirt with 90, 100. It's definitely a possibility, And also the news that Grand Theft Auto 6 got delayed to May 2026. It's just an all-time for me, not big bad news but for a lot of people it was just a bad news day. The announcement of it getting delayed came before the trailer came out. So it was kind of like a softened blow a little bit. The announcement that it got delayed till May next year, and then a couple days after that they gave you a trailer. Which is sorry for, the announcement, but here's at least a trailer. I just hope though that with this delay that there really is no big issues with that game when it does come out. I mean, I'm not saying that this delay was needed. I don't work at Rockstar, so I'm I don't know the ins and outs and the dilemmas or the problems that this game might be facing ahead of launch. There really wasn't. I don't think that there was an actual release date for Grand Theft Auto 6 up until now. It just said 2025, but we probably assumed the holiday season of 2025. But now we got to confirm May 26, 2026. So more than a year delay, but I'm willing to forgive them for that. At least they didn't give us a definitive date in 2025 and then kind of waited till maybe a month or two before it came out and then delayed it. This is well in enough time for them to delay it. It's all right, I forgive you. It's canceling an appointment at your dentist, right? They want you to do it as soon as you can. But if they want to, delay you, they'll call you the day of and say, hey, we got to cancel. Come back in a month. Sorry. And then they're like, well, how come I don't get some kind of fee paid to me because you canceled the day of? And in your text messages says you must provide 24 hours before you cancel. At least it's not super close to the release date and they're like, nah, just kidding. We're going to delay it for an entire year. I'll give them that, right? It was enough time for us to be like, oh man, fine, I guess, do what you got to do. Make it the best game that you could possibly do. Do I think it's going to have multiplayer day one? Absolutely not. If you have followed Rockstar in the past 20 years, Past 15, I'll give you 15 years. They don't really do that. They like to have like the initial release of the game, and then at least in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, those games eventually had a multiplayer mode come along the ways, but they kind of, they kind of act like it's like a secondary release to get the initial release sales and then the second release sales, to skyrocket. It's a smart move. I'll give them that. Like, in terms of like the cash flow and like and your payday, it's got to be nice to have like that. That does make sense. But I wouldn't expect them to add multiplayer and have it ready on like the ship day, on launch day. Like, I would not expect them to have the multiplayer ready to go on day one. There's no way. I think what they did with the past games is they gave the players the time to complete the story, because at least in Red Dead Redemption 2, they had a phenomenal story that I think a lot of people liked and a lot of people enjoyed playing, that once you completed that story, they were willing to put out their multiplayer. And even though the multiplayer for Red Dead Redemption 2 was not very good, according to a lot of people, I didn't mind it. But a lot of people did not like it. At least they, got the public to play the story game, the story portion of Red Dead Redemption 2. And for the majority of people, they enjoyed it. So that was good. But yeah, you can only hope that this game, when it comes out next May, that it's even better than what they had probably, light years, maybe not light years, but a substantial amount better than what it was going to be if it had come out later in this year. And of course, we're never going to know. We probably won't know, because all we've gotten from Red Dead for Grand Theft Auto 6 is just, cinematic trailers. We have had like no actual release of gameplay, nothing to really analyze or see or compare, what we've seen. It's not like it was like Halo Infinite when they released the campaign, and then it got delayed in it like so much like after that. So I mean, at least it's not like that. Like there's no material for us to like hold them accountable, but like, hey, this is what you were gonna make us play. This is what you were gonna give us for a full charge. Well, you better fucking double the work you did, because this is no way in shape or form ready for the masses to play. So at least they kind of, put themselves in a better position this time than what Halo had done in the past. Do I have high hopes for this game? Yeah, I do. I think that if the game is actually bad, it will be like catastrophic disaster, but I don't think they will be bad, because honestly, like, Rockstar makes pretty good games. The past two that I played have been pretty good. And I think that, Grand Theft Auto 6 could be like, the biggest, most like expansive, most freeing game that could ever be made, honestly. I really do think that. Speaking of, media, what we've been talking about lately, entertainment, I'm shifting to TV now. I'm going to talk about Andor, a Star Wars story. If you didn't know what that was, which if you hear the word Andor, you might not know what it is about or where, what realm it's from. Like, I've had to tell my family members, like, hey, they ask me, what are you watching? I'm like, Andor. They're like, what? It's not really, you can't really, expect them to know what it was just from the title of the show, even though that's literally what it is. That's the name of the show. You always have to kind of explain it a little bit better, thorough. Like, I'm watching Andor. It's a show. It's a Star Wars show about a character that was in Rogue One before A New Hope. They're like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. But trust me, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, if you've been asked, like, what are you watching? You say Andor. You're going to have to follow up with what I just said. So I'm watching Andor, right? I had talked about it initially a couple weeks ago when they debuted the first 3 seasons, and I didn't think that they were the most strongest of television of any, of any of the imagination, right? I thought it was, good. It was solid. It was a solid start to the second season. But there were some storylines and characters I just didn't really care for. Since then, 6 episodes have come out, weekly. Not weekly. They put out 3 every week. So it's like a big, long movie. And I've been watching every single week. 3 episodes. Boom, boom, boom. I got to tell you, it has picked up and tremendously since the first week of it coming out. Like the stories are so much better. They're so much more in depth. The characters are so much more interesting. Their actions are much more, have much greater consequences on how they shape things. Because, if you're following the character of Andor and the characters that, appear in the show that are in Rogue One, their end game, but it's like the journey there. It's like, oh, what happened here? Or what was he doing on this planet? Or with this person, So it's interesting in that aspect, but it's not dumb television. I will say that. Every single episode from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 has been phenomenal television, in my opinion. Like, great pacing, great writing, characters are getting stronger, storylines are I'm able to see them, and how they all come together. It's told much more quicker at a quicker pace. The show doesn't drag. There's like not really any filler that I can like really like feel when I'm watching these episodes. Like, it's all paced so well and everything's written out where you're just like, there is absolutely no wasting time in these most recent 6 episodes. It's only been building and building and building up until, this past week. And the episodes that came out this week, they just popped off. Like, holy crap. What a build up to this week's, batch of 3 episodes, man. I mean, like, I won't spoil anything. I'm not here to walk you through what happens in the show, but goddamn, it gets pretty crazy. And it's so like earned in a way. Like the way the episodes have been written, it's like there is no cheating this event. There is no cheating this character's fate. There's no cheating this character's, decision of what they're going to do or why they do it. It's like there's no cheating it. It's all like earned and like deserved in a way where it's like a satisfaction. Like, you don't get that in like a lot of modern day TV anymore. A lot of modern day TV, I will say, I don't watch a whole lot, but some of the stuff that I do watch, there tends to be filler. This show, very, very, very little filler. Very little filler. Even in like the good Star Wars TV, like the Clone Wars, the Rebels, some of the later episodes, there was a lot of episodes that, you'd watch and like you could tell like this is kind of a filler episode. Not to like bash it that much, but I mean the last like season of the Clone Wars that came out like 3 years ago, there was like maybe a good 4 episodes. I think it was 12 in total, but like there was like a good 4 episodes where like they did not even need to have these episodes. It was just filler. But hey, I mean, Andor right now is literally popping off. Like, this is some good ass television. And the way that they structure it too, like releasing 3 episodes each week, it almost makes it like they're like movies. Like, it was like written in a way where it's like you have to watch one after the other in order for you to get the full experience. Like, if they had released these weekly, I think that they're still strong enough to, stand on their own week to week, episode to episode. But like when you release these 3 episodes each week, it like is more satisfying and it's more of a completion. You feel like more, you actually feel like there was like more substance, and that journey in those 3 episodes, or this, you can just call it a movie, was well worth the wait of the week, the week to pass by. And then there's, like I said, we're up to 9 episodes and there's 3 more to go. And I'm pretty sure, like, I've looked at the trailers, not a whole lot that I've seen in the trailers. I mean, there's a lot in the trailers that I've already seen in these first in the 9 episodes that are out right now. There's 3 more to go. So we're entering a territory where we haven't seen much of any that is remaining in this show. So it's almost like we're now going in completely blind to the final week of Andor. It's good. It's really good. A lot of people are calling it the best Star Wars ever. No. Have they seen The Empire Strikes Back? Have they seen A New Hope? No, it's not the best Star Wars ever. It might be the best Star Wars that Disney has ever made, for sure. I think you could call it that. But those last 4 episodes of the final season of Clone Wars were probably the very, very, very best. I could probably say that those actually might be the best of Disney Star Wars that they've ever put out. Those final 4 episodes of the Clone Wars might be the best, actually. But this is probably right behind it as like top-notch like Star Wars content in that Disney has made. And you know what? The tone of it is darker. It's much more mature. But I think with the subject matter that they're focusing on in this show, it calls for that. It calls for a darker, more serious, more mature tone. And I think that it suits it well. I can't really imagine if you try to Disney-fy it up and like make it all, super like kid-friendly, like, oh, hey, we're all jokey here. It wouldn't work. Like there's like, it just wouldn't work with the stories that they're telling and the events that they're, trying to depict. You can't really make it like the sequel trilogy at all. You just can't. I mean, they took a gamble on like the tone of the show. They had to succeed on this tone, and I think that so far they've been able to execute the tone well, where you find it believable, and when you're like, oh yeah, I mean, this is still in the world of Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, but obviously that this stuff is, not necessarily about like the hero and the villain and the mythos of it. This is like more like the real world surrounding all of that stuff, right? Like, the Empire is bad. They're bad. They're the bad guys. But what made them the bad guys? Well, if you've seen Star Wars, Alderaan made them the bad guys. At the end of episode 3, what makes them the bad guys? What happens to the Jedi makes them the bad guys. And in this show, there's stuff that you're like, oh yeah, these guys are the bad guys for sure. For sure. Like, oh yeah, that's why they're the evil galactic empire. That's why Emperor Palpatine is evil, and why Darth Vader and all these Imperial guys are the bad guys. This is why. And it's like, it only just, I when watching movies like this and watching like media and these stories unfold, you just want your bad guy to be bad. You don't want it to be like a fake ass bad guy. When I'm just gonna give an example of the sequel trilogy. When that bitch ass General Hux, in the sequel trilogy, who just on his command destroys an entire system of planets with his big gun, and then all the way his arc up until episode 9, like, oh, I'm not the spy. I just want Kylo Ren to lose. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. Why? I mean, the dumbest shit ever to make him a joke. Motherfucker, you just murdered like an entire system of planets, man. Like, you killed trillions of people. And no, I just want Kylo Ren to lose. I don't like him anymore. Like, shut the fuck up. But But yeah, there's none of that in this show. In fact, everything is like so well done and constructed, and you're just like, oh yeah, these guys all had a plan from the beginning. And you can tell. Yeah, this is really cool. And I will say that there's not a whole lot of Easter eggs in this show, but they're starting to kind of appear more and more as the show nears its end. So, if you haven't watched it a whole lot, if you're starting it and you're like, is this Star Wars? You might be thinking like, where's all this? Where's this? Where's that? How come I'm only getting this? Or I've never seen this before. You get more of it as you go along. Trust me. But yeah, these first 9 episodes have been crazy. Absolutely insane to think that this would be in a Star Wars show. And there's still 3 more to go. And they have not skimped out. They have not shied away. They have not played coy. They have just gone full throttle. And it's been like, whoa, this is some good TV. Previously, they had 2 shows before this. They had The Acolyte, which nobody liked. And then they had Skeleton Crew, which also nobody liked. So it's good to see that this show at least is keeping the viewership and actually providing good television, which at the end of the day is what you want. You want good television. Entertain me, please. All right, and that's going to be it for me today, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. New episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yes, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.